Okay, so what do we got to do?
I don't know. I don't know. What are you asking me?
I'm here. So I feel stuck on the first script. So I have an outline of what I need to do, and you're saying use bullet points and just go and talk about certain bullet points for each one. So I know you got the niche.com, so I got that one down. Um, are there anything else that I should have in my script in my video for the first video?
Yeah, throw your script away.
Don't use a script, just bullet
I
point.
never use a script. I don't
Okay.
read from a teleprompter. I never use a script. I kind of get an idea about what I'm going to talk about. I mean, if I'm going to do a property tour, like I'm going to talk about a listing or a house or something, whatever somebody else's listing, then
Mm-hmm.
I will take I'll just print off the MLS and I will go to the property and initially do a walkthrough of the property and see if anything jumps out at me. Like if they've got some weird looking countertops or some weird looking cabinets or something, then what I'll do is tease when I'm on the outside of the house. So, I'll take the phone, turn it towards me with the selfie stick, and um, I'll sit here and go, so you're thinking about moving to wherever, in your case, Phoenix, Arizona. So you're thinking about moving to Phoenix, Arizona. Well, today we are at a very unique property. This thing is unbelievable. You're going to want to stick around to the end because I got a real big surprise for you. So let's get to it right now. And then you go into your little intro, and then you go to the next part and you say, hey guys, if it's your first time to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, ring that little bell so you can be one of the first ones to learn everything there is to learn about living in Phoenix, Arizona. The good, the bad, the yin, the yang, the ins, the outs, everything you want to know about living here. I know it and I'm going to tell it to you. And then you say, so let's get started with the video. And then you go straight into whatever you're going to talk about. So as I said today, we are at a unique property because it is blah 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 blah. And then you just go into the video and you start doing a little walkthrough. And as you're walking through the house, we've done them different style, Toy. To be honest with you, we have done them where we've done a complete walkthrough and did nothing but added music to it and didn't say anything about the house. Then we've done them where we did a walkthrough of the house, but we were never in the camera. We were just always filming this and filming that and talking in the background. And then we've also done them where I'm holding the camera and um, I'm holding the camera and Aileen's talking and she's going room to room like I was a customer. And I'm gonna tell you that those are probably the most successful ones. And you can do it by yourself. You can just, you can say, come on, let's check out the bedroom. And then you walk in there and then you say, you know, there's a full-size bed in here, but you could probably fit a king in here and go, there's a lot of room on the other side of this bed, just kind of talking stuff like that. And then, like the main thing you want to do is make the video evergreen. So if you're going out and you're talking about a property, you want to show everything around that property. So you want to film your drive in. So you might want to while you're driving to it, then that may be where you do your intro. You may just have your camera set up on your dash and then say, you know, hey guys, thank you for tuning in today. Today I'm right now I'm driving to whatever location you're driving to and then just tell them what your video is going to be about. Kind of keep your eyes on the road, don't wreck, but you know what I mean. But you could just try out different styles, see what works in your area. You'll know pretty quick what works and what don't work, so um and just try different styles out. Just do it. The important thing is to turn the dang camera on and just do
I think that's where I have a little bit of fear. So
it.
I've been having a little, the devil's been yapping in my ear lately, like people looking for referrals here in Arizona. And I see all these other people referring other people, and they're just like rock stars. And then I'm discovering this other chick's YouTube, and they're all like rock stars, and I'm just like, Toy's nothing yet. And like, who's gonna listen to Toy? Who's gonna give Toy the referral? You know, it's just like I'm just like been stuck frozen in that mentality lately. I don't know why.
Oh, it'll happen.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know I'm putting all this together. I know it's gonna be great, but I'm just like, these people have done it way more, way better, way ahead of time, and
They
so that's
started where you are today.
yeah. Why can't I be like that girl this morning? Like within the first 6 months, she just kills it, you know, and just get a team right away, get all those leads. So, but I have a good plan. I have a good thing going. I worked on my intro. I got some templates for intro, outro, just very short ones. They look pretty nice. They pop. And so I think I was telling you, I'm gonna do the assumable, the rate thing. So one day will be about a rate. So I'm trying to do 2 to 3 days a week to be on YouTube, and one day will be live. So I think Saturday will be my live. So that's what I'm gonna commit to. I think YouTube changed their thing where you don't have to have X amount of subscribers. You can just go live, right? They changed it. So
I think so,
Sat-
yeah.
yeah, Saturday will be my live. I think it'll be a new construction live. And then Thursday would be like market stuff. And then I think she had like a Monday and Thursday. So like Monday or Tuesday would be like an assumable rate, looking at assumable rate house that has a good rate. So those are the three that I'll be focused on. So those were my 3 days a week right there. What do you think?
I think your assumable rate house is not an evergreen video because you're
Which
talking
one?
about your assumable rate
Oh yeah,
house.
yeah. No, yeah, yeah. You told me that before. As long as we do something around the area, we talk about the area, you know, that would be okay. So I say this area is great and this house has this rate. Just kind
Mhm.
of do a different spin on it. Promote the rate, but you're promoting the area too. Yeah, promoting what's in that area first. And by the way, this house has a 3% interest rate. Because I don't see anybody else doing that. Very few people. And I just had a client party um, for the assumable company. So a lot of them are getting them, and they're investors too. So I think I'm gonna start marketing that for VA for the investors and first time home buyers as well, or just buyers as well.
Well, here's you an idea for a video. Do explain what an assumable rate is and what is required of someone to take over that rate.
Right. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna interview the assumable people instead of
Yeah,
me having to explain it. I'm gonna interview them, and they want to be on my video.
that could also be one of your lives where you have
Yeah.
the mortgage guy on the call with you. Because let me tell you what happens when you do that. They will consume that whole call. They'll take up. So you're just basically sitting there and they'll do 95% of the video for you
Right.
because they're going to answer all the questions.
Exactly. Okay. So that's on my thing. What's new
Cool
with you, Tim?
beans.
What'd you say?
What's new with you, Tim? How's the YouTube world and real estate world?
Um, Real estate's starting to pick up. Before we leave that topic, though, I want to come back to what Andy said and just pick up the camera and start recording. You have got to stop trying to craft the perfect video before you start and just go out and craft 20 average segments of that video. Because there's nothing wrong with, hey, everybody, this is Toy. I'm out here in the east side of Phoenix today, and we're going to talk about da 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 da. And stop the camera and then look at your notes and say, okay, first house I'm going to show you is a $550,000 house. It sold for this 3 months ago. I'm in the neighborhood of Sanctuary Falls. And after this one, I'm going to show you what 750 will buy in. And then I'm going to take you to one that's $1 million and just get after it and just start talking just like you were walking down the sidewalks of that neighborhood with a buyer client. You don't get to practice, you don't get to memorize everything. You talk about your knowledge. And I think
So
when you get out there and just start doing it, you're gonna say, okay, I get it. I can feel this now.
So this week my intention will be, and I will put my $1,000 on the line with you, Tim. This week I
That's
will
the
have
second
my
thousand now, because you didn't do
this,
your three
this,
videos last time.
no, I wasn't supposed to do it through review. I was just setting it together. That's a lot. You don't think I did?
Oh, he's
I put too
changing
much
the
together.
story.
I over estimated what I could do in 1 week with everything else I was doing. So, but this week I will put the Phoenix and the Scottsdale together. So those two. So I will have the script and the video put together by next week, and I will record, clip, and do all that for you next week, and I will have it on here to show you.
Okay.
So, okay. So I think because I was trying to put all like I was doing banner, I was doing timeline or the thumbnails, I was doing everything. So it was like just impossible to do 3 video and all that and all the other stuff and everything else. Just not possible. But I did
Yeah.
do stuff. I did do the timeline, the thumbnail, the other stuff, and so if I did nothing, it'd be one thing. But yeah, this week I will have those 2 videos, the script and the video, and I already have the thumbnails for it. So, and if I'm zealous, if I can, I'll do one assumable property as well. So,
I
You're
would do
gonna
what?
you're
this.
gonna be surprised at how quick the videos come when you sit down there and you start making videos. You'll pump out. I mean, like I already know I've got scheduled to do one day this week. I'm gonna try to probably go do it tomorrow. Um, and I'm gonna go do a video about the public beach spots around here because summer's coming up. So I'm gonna do, how much it costs, if there's bathrooms, that this, that, and the other. So I'm going to go do that video as well as we've got one of our teammates at EXP has a $1.4 million listing they just took, and I'm gonna go film that listing. So I've got 3 videos planned before the end of this week. So
Mm.
you just have to once you start filming, I'm telling you that you just start, especially after you get into the flow of it, you start to get used to it. You'll start pumping out videos like you won't believe.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to get consistent in doing that. So looking over that chick's new channel, I like hers. One thing different, her description was more personal. It was about like, oh, I've lived in Arizona all my life and I've moved here and there, and doesn't sound so, I don't know, basic. So I was thinking about changing mine, sound like hers, because I do have a lot of experience living in the area and I've lived here pretty much my whole life. So all over the place. So I think I was going to change that to make it more personal.
Yep. Tell your story.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a good storyteller, but I'm working on it. I'm working on that.
Well, and you could start until you get a little more comfortable keeping your videos fact-based. I mean, you literally could go into your MLS and pick an area of town, excuse me, pick an area of town and go into your MLS and find homes between 500 and $700,000 and put them on a map and take your viewers to each of those homes. Today we're on the west side of Phoenix, and I'm going to show you what 500 to $700,000 will buy you in this part of town. The first home we're stopping here is on such and such a street. I don't usually give addresses, because that house, you can do actives, you can do ones that have previously sold, but if you're fact based and without having to do a whole lot of ad libbing, because you can say, this particular home has 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, it's about 2,800 square feet, it's got a partially finished basement and an in-ground pool, and that's going to be more comfortable initially than having to make things up. Now, at each home, what Andy is saying too is now let's take a look at the amenities in this neighborhood because I want to show you what it's like to live here in this particular subdivision in Western Phoenix. And then go show them the clubhouse and the pool and the playground and the pickleball court, whatever it is. And if it doesn't have that, then I'm going to say let's walk. around the block here, and this is the shopping center. Look, this shopping center has a Walmart. It's got a Piggly Wiggly. There's a barber shop. You know, just talk like that, and it's just going to be matter of fact. You're just going to talk about what you see and what you're showing them on the camera. And all of this was within 3 minutes of the subdivision we just came from. Now I'm going to go 5 miles down the road and show you another subdivision. Cut, go to your next one, do it again, do it again, do it again. And just keep it fact based, and you're going to have less of a issue of trying to think of what am I going to say. Because we're realtors, we always talk about beds, baths, square footage, what style the home is, how much it is, and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's easier, but it's boring. People don't like to watch that.
Yeah, you may not like to watch it, but that what you got to start thinking is what does the audience out there want to watch? What are they watching? And then
Yeah.
figure that out.
Yep.
And then plus I'll tell you that we have different laws where we are than where, what you probably have in Phoenix. So if I'm talking about a property, I have to get permission from the listing agent in order to even talk about that property, even if it's listed on Zillow, believe it or not. So, and you
Talk
might,
about one that sold in the past, and you don't have to worry about that.
yep. And then also what you might want to do is check with your broker, check with your local broker where you are. You may not have to have the permission to do that. So you could, like, I know for a fact that there's another real estate agent out there in Dallas, Texas, who's doing videos, and he walks down the street and he talks about this house and this house and this house and this house as he's walking down the street. And he mentions how much they are for sale. And then in his video, he shows pictures off of Zillow in the for each one of the listings. So he didn't even have to go in and preview the house. He does, but he doesn't have to on some of those. So like if he goes into a neighborhood and it's a big neighborhood and it's got pickleball courts and basketball courts and a swimming pool and a community center and a beach and all this other stuff, then he talks about all that stuff. And then he says, oh, and by the way, let's take a look at some of the homes that are for sale in this neighborhood. And then he walks down the street and says, this house behind me is 4,200 square feet and it sells for blah, blah, blah. It's listed for this, and this. And he keeps going down the street. And then at the first of his video, he says, today we're in such and such neighborhood and I'm going to show you, what you can buy for. Believe it or not, in this neighborhood, you can buy for 300,000. You could buy for 400,000. You could get a 500,000, and there's even a $600,000 home. And I'm going to show you all four of them today in this video. And when he does that, then people go, "Oh my God!" and they stick around for the whole video because they want to see all four of them. People love to look at property. I mean, I had one the other day that a guy that clicked on in my KV core and he came out of the box and said, don't send me a whole bunch of emails. I just like coming to your website to look at property. I'm never going to buy anything. And I said, look away. I said, go ahead. You you can look all you want. Is there a certain thing you like to look at? I'll send you $10 million homes if you want to see that. But I said, but just keep in mind, if you ever talk to anybody who wants to buy or sell in Baldwin County, let them know, just refer me to them. I would really appreciate it. But in the meantime, you look at anything you want to look at. So every day he's logging on looking at property. Says he's never going to buy, but he might refer somebody. So who knows?
Yeah, yeah. You have a fan, so that's good.
That's right.
That's good. You
Yep.
got him to be a referral partner.
And sometimes shit happens, and he might need to buy or sell or both.
That's
You
right.
know,
Right.
life happens.
People don't
Yeah,
like to be
I
told, so
just
that's why they're
talked
like, don't
to
contact me.
yeah, I
Right.
talked to a gentleman the other day that he thought he had his job, that he was retired from his job, never going to have to work again. He thought, he'd been married for 42 years, thought he had the wife of, that they were going to die together. And guess what happened? Now he just got a divorce because his wife was running around on him, believe it or not, at 72 years old. So he
Wow.
just he just got a
You,
divorce.
you go,
And
girl.
Andy had to go out and get a full-time job at Lowe's. Now he's wanting to sell real estate. So, because he can't afford, I mean, he basically, they split up everything and he went his separate way. It's crazy. So life happens, things you just don't never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yes, sir. You were going to talk about your story, Tim?
My story.
Yeah, said let me finish what Andy was going to say about me, and then you're going to talk about yours, about your real
Mm,
estate and your YouTube. How's your YouTube going?
I created a video and sent it off for editing, got it back, but I haven't posted it yet. And it's on selling a house that has a reverse mortgage on it.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only thing I've done on YouTube lately. Still trying to finalize a plan on the how a house is built. I've
So I
got
got a K. I got a K on the line. Let's put your K on the line so it's even.
a I gotta come up with something that I'm willing to do first.
Yeah. So I think that's where I'm at too. So, but now I'm starting to figure out the new construction funnel will be good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be
You
able to
could-
tell you all about that here shortly because I'm going through the training right now.
Yeah, no, I would love for you to share me all that stuff. I can't afford their stuff's too expensive for me right now. But my other concern is I don't want my channel to be so much stuff because people say it has to be specific niche, and I'm sorry, but I'm just too smart. I know too many things that have too many niches. So I want to talk about different things. I want to help these people, that people. Would that be a bad thing? I mean, because everything you hear me saying, I have a lot of stuff on my channel. Is that too much if I do that?
Listen, when you first start out, you probably want to narrow down to a certain niche, maybe, and I'm not necessarily saying, to target, say, first-time home buyers. You can, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to. But I think eventually you will wind up branching out anyway. Um, you know, and there's all these, I'm fixing to send you, let me see if I can pull it up here. I'm fixing to send you a
Majority.
video of a lady
Okay.
that I follow on YouTube. She is a YouTube creator, and she says that you should not, no matter what you're doing on um, YouTube, you should not pick a niche. You should just do.
Everything.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just put it in the chat, but check out that video when you get a chance.
Okay.
She's a really big content creator. Now, she doesn't do real estate, but she does, a whole bunch of other stuff. She teaches people how to do YouTube and, you know, but I mean, specific to real estate, I think you do need to pick, because you don't want to be all over the place. In other words, you don't want to be doing, relocation and then all of a sudden you're catering to first time buyers and then all of a sudden you're catering to because YouTube's not going to know who to put your videos in
Exactly.
front of.
That's my
So I
concern.
think to start with, yeah, you need to narrow it down. Like with us, we picked Orange Beach to start with. Orange Beach right off the bat. So we stuck to a specific area and we figured we're going to tell everybody everything they need to know about Orange Beach. Moving here, living here, working here, playing here, going to the beach, eating at restaurants, every single thing somebody would want to know if they're planning on moving here or buying an investment property. And to start with, we weren't going after the investors, which was not very smart. For our first 4 or 5 months, we were just going after people who wanted to relocate here because I was following another um, training program. And I was like, well, I'm following what he's doing. Well, he was in a much different market than I am. We don't have the jobs here for people to relocate to Orange Beach. But what we do have is we do have $1 million condos on the beach that people want to buy and rent out all year and use it twice a year and have it pay for itself. And I'm sitting there thinking, after about 4 or 5 months, the light bulb clicked and I said, That's what we need to be doing videos on. And as soon as we did, then the phone started ringing, just as soon as we started doing that. So what you've got to figure out is who is watching what. I mean, if your area is a big relocation area, like, Phoenix, I'm sure it probably is. I'm sure there's probably jobs galore, so that's what I would target is people moving there. So I'd create a relocation guide, for
Yeah.
somebody moving there or something, and say, I would say in my videos, say, I'm going to put a link in the description below for a free relocation guide. If you're ready to move to Phoenix, Arizona, make sure that you call me. I am your go-to expert. I'm the best. And then go on with your video. And I'd put that in every single video.
Yeah, I went and copied or downloaded the chick with living in Phoenix, Arizona, the
Yeah.
that we talked about. So yeah, I downloaded her, so I'm in the process of copying hers and making it better and making it mine. So, but
And
yeah,
if you
that's
want to get a
definitely.
jump start to it, go to her channel and
Hmm.
then go to videos and hit most popular and pick her most popular video and just copy it.
Yeah, I've
Just make
looked at
one
that.
just like it. If it's a pros and cons, then do a pros and cons. I mean, whatever
Mhm.
she's doing. And you could go one step further. There are programs out there where you could download her video and then you can take it and transcribe it, put it in like Descript, and then take that script, put it in Chat GPT and say,
Okay.
I've told you who I am, change this entire video and make a video for me for my YouTube channel. And then it'll change it. It'll change it to your style of talk, your everything. And then
Yeah.
put it on a teleprompter and then go to it, that'll get you started and it'll get you used to being in front of the camera. I've just gotten I've done, probably a thousand videos at this point. So it's like literally to me, being in front of the camera is just second nature now. It's nothing for me to just pick up the camera, turn it on and start talking. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I don't fumble with the words, because I've done it a thousand times. Tim and I are doing webinars, for agent attraction. And we're fumbling through the first few right now because we've never done it. I mean, it's something new. But by the time we do 20 or 30 of these, it's going to be second nature. Somebody could ask us and we won't even have a camera on, and then you just go straight into it. Well, let me tell you, blah, 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 so
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something you're going to have to do. It's repetition. And the main thing is, if you're like I say it in the training, and this is the gospel. This is just like reading out of the Bible. You better believe it that if you say you're going to do a new video every single week, you better make sure you do a video every week, because if you don't, whoo, they will crucify you, literally. I mean, because
That's why I'm hesitant to start right away because I know I'm not ready to keep it consistent. That's why I'm like, do all these first and then put it together and then
yeah,
be
You
consistent.
you
Because I
gotta
have my
you
old
you
videos
gotta you gotta start recording though, because you can queue all
Yeah.
those up to be released in the future.
And I have
well,
my old videos too to be released in the future as well. But yeah, you're right.
Well, listen, at some point this weekend, you're probably going to go eat at a restaurant, correct? At some point.
Yeah.
Film it. Film the
I do
restaurant.
I do pictures and video and do a Google review.
Yeah, but film it for your channel.
Yeah.
And here's all you say. When you pick that up, you go, so you're thinking about moving to Phoenix, Arizona? Well, listen, today I am going to eat at Joe's Crab Shack. And it is on blah 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 street in blah 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 wherever. Just tell where it's at and say, I'm going to eat here. I haven't ever been here. Or just say, this is one of my favorite places. Whatever the truth is, tell the truth. You want to make sure you tell the truth. But then if you've never eaten there, we do that all the time. And we'll say, I've never eaten here. I know that comes as a shocker to everybody because this place has been around forever. But I'm going to go in today and check it out, and I wanted you to come along. So let's go in and check it out. And then you just go in, you do a tour of the restaurant. Every single restaurant manager in the world, if you walk in there and you say, I have a YouTube channel, and you don't have to tell them how big the following is, just say, you could say it's going to be big or it has a big following, whatever. Just say, I have a YouTube channel. I was going to eat here today. I'm going to showcase your restaurant. I'm not asking you for anything for free. I just don't want anybody bothering me when I walk around. And just say, is that okay? And every single time they go, yeah, come on back. I'll show you the kitchen. And then they'll be like, have you ever tried our whatever? No, I haven't. Well, I'm going to give you one so you can review it on your channel. And they'll start doing that stuff. So, I mean, just I would film everything you do, everything.
You're at the gym every morning. This is my favorite gym. I work out every day. I want to show you
Yeah.
everything that's around it. And it's 5 minutes from this, and 15 minutes from this, and 20 minutes from this. And I happen to live 3 minutes away in this neighborhood. I'll be featuring that neighborhood on a subsequent video. So make sure you subscribe, etc. There's so much you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
if
No,
and
that's
if
all
you
great
don't
idea.
listen, and if you don't think people think about that stuff, I'm gonna tell you that the very first thing that when we were buying a new property, we just recently bought a house last year. And when we were buying this house, that was one of the very first things my wife checked out before we put our name on the paper was how close is it to the nearest gym?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what people check out. I mean, they want to know that kind of thing. We were also trying to figure out how close it was to the grocery store because for us, when we were living in Orange Beach, it was an absolute nightmare to go to the grocery store in the summer.
Yeah.
But here, where I'm living now in Foley, which is 15 minutes from the beach, it's not. I've got a back road to go to a grocery store. We can literally get there in 2 minutes, and it's nothing to go, to go over and do your shopping and be back in 15 minutes. You couldn't do that in Orange Beach. It's impossible, especially in the summer. And then when you get in there, the shelves are bare. It looks like they've been robbed because all the tourists have stripped the shelves. So, but that's the kind of thing people want to know. Buy your groceries on your way to the beach. Here's a good grocery store to stop at. And just tell them on your way in, stop at this grocery store because when you get here, there ain't gonna be nothing on the shelves.
No, definitely good stuff. I definitely plan on doing that once I get my channel up and running consistently. That's definitely good stuff.
But
That's
yeah, but
content that,
what but listen, that's what we're trying to tell you. Start
you know,
stockpiling videos now. Start
got
filming everything you do. You go to a sandwich shop down the street for lunch, film it. You go to dinner tonight at the local Mexican restaurant, film it. Put everything you do on film. You got to go get your tag renewed at the DMV, film it. I mean,
okay.
put everything on film and say, I do this. I do videos just like this every week just to be informative, just to let you know what it's like to live in Phoenix, Arizona. So if you're thinking about moving here, I'm the expert and I'm who you need to call. And I would say that in the video. Just tell them, this is the reason I'm doing these videos so you can get to know me and you know that I'm the expert. You need to know anything, you pick up the phone and call me.
Love it. Cool. Yeah, no, I love the new stuff that you put on there, Andy. The Nick Kremen AI, that's awesome. Great stuff. Awesome. Thank you for that. And when you do get all the other funnels for um new construction and whatever else on Reese, please do put that on in your thing. I would
Yeah.
love to absorb that stuff. That's what I need. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to put my first funnel together.
I'm gonna take his training and figure out a simpler way to do it. And that's
Yeah,
what
that's what we all need. Simplicity.
But yeah,
So
we put all that AI training on there because I told Tim and I talked about it before I did it. I was like, it's all in one place now, like on our YouTube channel, on our Agent Attraction YouTube channel. But the problem is that you have to go, it's all in a playlist, but you got to really go search for it. At least this way, it's all in that classroom. So it's literally from the first video he's ever done, all seven of them, and you can just progress yourself all the way through. And as he
nice.
does new ones, I'm gonna add the new ones too. And I think
Nice.
we're probably fixing to do the same thing with Google My Business if I can gather
Yeah,
all those up.
Yes, do that too. That's my other funnel I'm working on is Google My Business. So I'm still getting, I have 11 reviews so far, but we're working on getting more. So, and then doing else, local service ads. Do you guys know anything or do anything about local service ads?
I don't ever do anything on Google. Like I said again, I am strictly a YouTube guy. I mean, I everything we do comes from YouTube. Now, I, that's fixing to change because but here's the thing is that even though this new construction funnel, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of Facebook advertising, but guess what? Everything's gonna point them back to YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
even the Facebook, the whole form, everything, anything they do is going to point them right back to the YouTube channel, so that they can watch the videos and get to know us, and then pick up the phone and call us. And that's what I've been doing here, is building out a website to where they can go in and fill out a buyer survey or a seller survey before they even jump on a call with us, so that I know what their time frame is to buy, the price range, all this other stuff. So they can walk themselves through, so that when we do jump on a call with them, we already have that information, and we're better informed to talk to them. So I'm building all that out right now. So
Nice. Can't wait for that. Please do share. That'd be amazing.
yep, yep. When we learn new stuff, we'll pass it on.
Love that. Awesome. Okay, so I got a lot of work to do. I've written everything down, what I got to do. What I'm going to do is watch those two and then one more. I'm going to get 3 videos of pros and cons of living in Phoenix and Scottsdale. And I'm going to put it into my Merlin. I'm going to get the transcript and I'm going to put it in GPT. I'm going to say, make this into one perfect YouTube channel for me, what you know about me. And then I'm gonna have that perfect script for Phoenix, have the perfect script for Scottsdale, and then I'm gonna go record for Phoenix and do the B rolls, and go record Scottsdale and do the B rolls, and then I'll have it edited on Sunday night and should have everything by Monday, Tuesday. And then my goal is at least do one assumable, explain assumable this weekend as well, and hopefully I can put all that together. Have the videos ready, possibly fully edited, but not uploaded yet. So just gonna show
Yeah,
you guys first what we have. Okay.
cool
So that's
bean.
that's my project for this week. How about you, Tim? What's your 1,000 on?
I, I've got Tim on a full schedule.
It's busy.
I
That's
have
what
a very narrow focus right now.
that's
Yes.
what you need, though. That's what you need.
I've got 26 people signed up for a webinar in
Nice,
19 minutes.
nice, nice. All right. Well, that's all I really have. I don't want to hold you guys anymore, just to have the time wise. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next week, if not sometime during the week.
Sounds like a winner.
Sounds
Thanks,
good,
guys.
man. Good luck
All
to
right,
Appreciate
you.
it.
buddy.
Thank you. You too.